All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into the content. Welcome to today's training. And today's training is how automation saved my 31K launch. I'm Allison Hardy, and I am a business strategist for mompreneurs. So what I do is I help mompreneurs raise their businesses while they are raising their families. Oh, and Melissa, hey Melissa, nice to see you. Chesapeake, Virginia, my old stomping grounds. So anyways, I help women raise their businesses while they're raising their families so that they can live life by design. And living life by design is a really big motivator for me. For a really long time, I did all the things I thought I was supposed to do, right? I got the 9 to 5 job. I, did all the right stuff in my business. And none of that worked for me. Like I hated all of that. And it really made me into a stressed out version of myself. And it wasn't really until, quite honestly, I got laid off from that 9 to 5 job that I realized how much of myself was really wrapped up in that and how much I was living life on someone else's terms instead of my own. So when I started my business, I really became really passionate about helping women who have families who are growing a business. And they have big, crazy hearts to serve. And the reason why I work primarily with moms and women who have families is because we have different motivators than a lot of different other people. So in addition to building an amazing business, we have kids and we want to raise them on our own terms. And I think that if that's what you want, that's what you should do. Let me go ahead. Hey, Jen, nice to see you. Jen is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Very cool. So that's kind of like my philosophy on life. And that's what I help my clients do, is really raise businesses on their terms. So this is my little family. On the left is my wild child, Mr. Camden. He is 4 and he is a handful. He is a whole nother a whole thing in himself. He's awesome. And being his mom is one of the best things that's ever happened to me, but it's also one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. And we are currently pregnant with baby number 2, who is due in February. And we're all very excited. And we actually find out if it's a boy or girl next Monday. So we're all super pumped for that. Carrie says, yay. Thanks, Carrie. And on the right is me and my husband, Tier. Tier is a pastor, so we move around a lot. We move every 2 to 5 years usually. Hopefully as he progresses along in his career, he'll stay in one place for a little bit longer, but we move a lot and it's always an adventure. So recently we actually moved in July. We actually moved June 28th. And he started a new job in July 1st. And so that's kind of where my story goes. And that's where this training comes from. So we found out we were pregnant with baby number 2 on June 19th. It was actually Father's Day. And it was a very exciting day for us. It was a great Father's Day for Tier. And, things were awesome there for a while. We were really excited. We still are really excited. But, doing the whole telling our family thing and going to the doctor and hearing the heartbeat for the first time, all that was really cool. And I knew we were moving July 28th. June 28th. I knew we were moving June 28th. We found out we were pregnant June 19th. So I had planned this launch for a group program that I am currently running called Rise. And I had been planning this launch for about 6 months. I put it on my vision board for 2017. I put a ton of work into the program. I made these really extensive modules. I hired a copywriter for the sales page. I really invested a lot of my time and a lot of my money, quite honestly, into the launch of this program. I hired a business coach to help to support me during the launch because I knew I would need that. And it was something I really had worked really hard for. So when we found out we were moving, I decided that I was going to do a 4-week-long launch in July of this year. So the first 2 weeks I automated because I knew right before the launch started we were going to be moving. So, I wrote all the emails, I planned all the social media posts. I had that stuff kind of under my belt. And I knew that life was going to be a little crazy, but nothing we couldn't manage, right? So the launch came, July came, Tier started his job. Camden and I were home together. We lost Camden's care, his preschool when we moved. We moved about So those of you who don't know, we moved about 4 or 5 hours away from where we were living. We were living in Southern Virginia, moved up to Northern Virginia, and now we live right outside of DC, which is pretty cool. So I knew that life was going to get in the way a little bit. However, I woke up on July 4th and I was sick. And we're not talking like feeling lethargic type of sick. We're talking like couldn't get out of bed, like I had the stomach flu type of sick. I could not move. I was done. I was down for the count. And if any of you guys know me, you know I'm a pretty energetic person. I don't let things get in my way. I am a former personal trainer, so I love physical movement. And I love all that stuff. And so me being out for like a day is kind of super unusual. So I thought it was just a temporary thing. You know, I was like, I was sick with Camden when he was born. So maybe this is just, you know, me getting used to being pregnant. July 5th came, still sick. July 6th came, still sick. I was sick for like a week. And I started to get really, really scared, quite honestly, because I had a lot riding on this launch. I knew that this program was going to make a difference in the lives of a lot of people, but I needed to show up for them or else that difference wasn't going to happen. And, you know, I needed to, quite honestly, make my money back that I invested in this. So it was a really kind of scary moment. But I realized in that moment, you know, Tier sat me down and he was like, you know, maybe you should think about delaying your launch. Maybe we should put it off. And I was like, no, I'm a fairly stubborn person. So when someone says maybe you should do something, I usually say no back. And so I said, no, you know, this is my time to really practice what I preach. I talk about automation all the time. I talk about setting your business up to be life proof, like all the time. It's something I talk about with my clients all the time. So it's my time to practice what I preach. And so I automated a huge portion of my launch. And I'm going to show you guys how I did that today. But I'm also going to show you kind of behind the scenes and how that actually happened. And the end of the launch happened. The whole launch happened. End of the launch came. And it was a $31,000 launch. And literally the only way that this actually was able to happen was because I automated large portions of it. So I only had to show up for my business, you know, when I was doing a live stream or when I was doing a live training like this for you guys. Everything else, all the behind the scenes stuff was automated. So I only had to work like 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. I didn't have to work every single day, and I was not working 8 hours a day because that was not something I was able to do. I was still really, really sick the entire month of July. And quite honestly, I'm still pretty sick. I just have all kinds of medicine now. And without that medicine, I would still be in bed. And so it really became like I became super passionate about automation for women who have families and are raising their families. Because when our kids get sick or when we get sick or heck, we just need like to go to the salon and get a haircut. Like your business should still stay afloat for you. Your business should still thrive. And so I want to tell you guys and show you guys systems I have in place that you can apply to your business to keep it thriving when you take a step away. All right. So here we go. So whenever I hear someone say they had a big launch or they had this big month, my first question is, how? How did you have this big month? What did you do this month? How were things different for you this month and last month? How did you get these different results than you've gotten in the past? And so I'm that type of person. A lot of my clients are that type of person. And so I wanted to break down the money for you guys. So I had $31,000 in sales in July. And what this means is $31,000 is going to come into my business between now and the end of November. Okay, so I didn't get $31,000 in cash in July. I would say I had $31,000 in cash. I had $31,000 in sales. So the money breakdown. I had 4 women enroll in the program without the payment plan. So upfront payment of $2,500 got them into the program. I had one woman enroll in Rise with the payment plan. And when you do a payment plan with me, you pay a little bit more. So her payment plan, the total is going to be $3,200. With that, I had 2 clients come to me who really needed one-on-one support. You know, they had done the group program thing. They have done masterminds. They've all done all this stuff, but they've never really worked one-on-one with someone. And they had these big kind of really specific goals that, yes, Rise would have supported them in, but it wouldn't have been as beneficial as one-on-one coaching. And both of them enrolled one-on-one with me through Rise. So they reached out to me via Rise through that program, thinking that that program was correct, or was not correct, was the right fit for them. And then through our conversations, we surmised that one-on-one program was better for them. So with their one-on-one program, they also got access to Rise. So 2 clients came to me through one-on-one. One paid $10,000 and one paid $8,000. And so my total income, my total sales was $31,200. My one-on-one rates, Shauna, so right now they're 10K. The other woman came in June when my payment was $8,000 for my one-on-one program. And then she saw Rise. So she locked in. She set a sales call in June. And I told her about Rise. And no, how did that happen? Oh, so this is how it happened. I did a sneak peek for the program in June. That's what it was. I built hype for it in June, and she was really interested in it. So she reached out to me in June, locked in the $8,000 rate for my one-on-one program in June. And then through our conversations in July, she figured out that Rise probably wasn't the best fit for her. That's how it happened. I was like, how did that happen if I didn't launch until July? So total income for the month was $31,200. All right, so then everyone always asks me, okay, so how much money did you spend? So I'm gonna go through the expenses. So ConvertKit is the email CRM I use, $49. Social Grow is a tool I use with Instagram growth. It's $25.96. Canva is a free, or not a free, it's a graphic design kind of software you can use. I pay $12.95 a month for it. Zoom is the platform we are using today, $14.99. Spreaker is how I host my podcast, $4.99. Kajabi is what hosts my self-study course, $129. Squarespace, I paid them $40.50, and that was for a new email address for a new OBM I hired her in June, got her the email address in July. Dubsado is how I send out my contracts, $16 a month. Platogram is how I keep my Instagram organized, $9 a month. Zapier, my favorite tool of all times. I'm going to talk a lot about Zapier today, but what Zapier does is it hooks things together. So you can hook ConvertKit to Kajabi, to Squarespace, to PayPal. I'll show you guys how it works. But that's a $25 fee. I spent $506.67 in Facebook ads for my launch. I spent $36.02 in Instagram ads. Copywriting services. I hired a copywriter to write the sales page for Rise. So $250. She has since raised her rates, as she should. My OBM, my online business manager, her monthly fee for the month of July was $547. So total expenses of $1,667.08. $1,667.08. So you can see total income $31,200, expenses $1,667.08, total profit of $29,532.92. So from that, I had to take taxes out, and I paid off some credit cards of my own family's, but that's how much money I brought in for the month of July. That's how much in sales I am projected. Put it that way. Yeah, Shauna, I love Slader too. It's by far one of my most favorite tools ever, and it's totally worth the upgrade because you can put more in than the amount they let you. All right, topic number 2. What exactly did I automate? So the automation for Rise is pretty bare bones. It's not super fancy because, quite honestly, I was in like a little bit of a desperation mode because I was so sick. I knew that if I didn't automate things really quickly, things were going to get out of hand, and that's the last thing I wanted when I was sick. So the Rise automation is really pretty simple. I'm going to show you guys what I plan on doing in the future for more launches. So these might seem kind of basic, but they really help to kind of save me. All right, so emails. Before I moved, I automated every single email that went out for my list for the first 2 weeks. And again, this was a 4-week launch. So I knew once we moved, I had to write week 3 and week 4 emails. So those were all automated, and that was kind of a relief, quite honestly. So in ConvertKit, you can set up rules. They call them automations. I wish they wouldn't use that word because it confuses me every time. So that when people clicked on the sales page, they got automatically tagged to something in ConvertKit. And so I could set up that they would get extra emails during the launch. So these emails went out when bonuses were expiring. I offered maybe special 48-hour deals, or the cart was closing. So if you clicked on the sales page for Rise at any time during my launch, if any of you guys are on here, you got extra emails from me. So I automated that, and that was really, quite honestly, a lifesaver also. I also retargeted most of the opened emails to people who didn't open them. And this is a strategy I didn't really ever do until the launch of Rise. But you can take an email, let's say it was a really good email, got a pretty good open rate, lots of engagement, so lots of clicks. You can retarget people who did not open it. So you can send it back out to them. So I would send an email out, and maybe the title or the subject was really tech heavy, right? Or it was very like, click this if you want this. I would resend it in a day or two to people who didn't open it with a different subject line. And so it would be a different type of subject line. So maybe like a story based, or one that maybe feel like fields to emotions. And I didn't have to change any of the content because they hadn't opened it in the beginning, right? So I didn't have to change any of the content, and I could change up that subject line. Thank you, Aegean. I appreciate that. It was a great strategy, and it really helped to maximize those emails that I did have. All right, so email marketing was oriented like this. It was a 4-week launch, like I've mentioned. On Mondays, my entire list got an email. Every single person on my email list. On Tuesdays, those who had clicked the sales page got an email. Wednesdays, again, entire email list got an email. Thursdays, again, those who had clicked the sales page got an email. And then Fridays, entire list got an email. Friday evenings, those who had clicked the sales page got an email in the evening with the bonuses expiring. So every week I had expiring bonuses in the program. They were a number of different bonuses that I offered throughout the launch of the program. So if you clicked on the sales page at any time, you got information about that delivered to your inbox as those bonuses were expiring with a timer, a very clear, like, hey, this is going away. You should book this now type of thing. A very direct sales email. And those emails, because they were really qualified people who had already clicked on the link, got a really good open rate and got a really good click rate. And that's where most of my conversions came from. That's where those 5 clients came from, were from those expiring bonus emails, or expiring, whatever was expiring during that time, cart closing, whatever it was. That's where the emails came from, or most of the enrollments came from. Perfect. Okay. Monday through Wednesday, the emails were definitely more value-based. So I think you should always be giving value, but they were a little bit more story-based. So they would talk about, a moment in my business when I had a big aha moment, or a moment I totally failed at something, or the time I launched and nobody bought, or things I've done in my business that were kind of like big turning points for me. So I would share stories. They were definitely a little bit more value-based. They still promoted, they still pitched, but what they pitched was a call to learn more about the program. So, hey, if you're interested in Rise, click here to book a call with me, and let's make sure it's a great fit for you before you enroll, right? Because I think women, a lot of us, let's be honest, want to make sure that the investments that we're making are going to benefit us. Thursday and Friday were more of hard sell emails. So, hey guys, this bonus is expiring. You need to buy now if you want this bonus. And they promoted buying through the sales page instead of the sales call, because usually by the end of the week, I didn't have any more spots for people to do sales calls. I could only work a certain amount of hours a day, or I'm only willing to work a certain amount of hours a day. So that's kind of how I structured email marketing. Week 3 and 4. So this was something I really struggled with doing, but my business coach, who I hired to support me during this time, really encouraged that I do this. Week 3 and 4, I essentially reused week 1 and week two's content. I tweaked, I maybe inserted different experiences, but everything was basically the same. And I changed the subject lines, of course. But the open rates actually increased and the click rates stayed the same. And I think the reason why is because I was being super consistent with my emails. I'm pretty consistent anyways. I actually legit really love emailing my list. But it really helped me to kind of stay on track. And it really allowed me to, quite honestly, not have to create a ton of content every single week, because I do struggle with content creation. That's like one of my the things I work on all the time in my business. So it really helped me to kind of stay focused, to stay on track, and to not feel like I was behind. So that when I was laying in bed sick, I could, duplicate those emails, tweak a couple things, change the subject line, and still kind of follow that formula for my launch. And nobody cared. Not a single person on my list like ever actually called me out about it. Nobody really noticed, because I think, and this is what I think is kind of like the key to launching, I think you have to launch and you have to say the same thing over and over and over again. And so if you become a little bit redundant, it's just you being consistent. And that can be kind of hard for us to understand. Because you think that everyone's paying attention to you while you're launching, but that's really not. It's really not the case. If only 30 to 40% of your list are opening your emails, 60% of them are not seeing those emails. So that's a lot of people, right? If you have a big list. So reusing content, I highly encourage you. If you guys are going to be launching anytime soon, reuse that content. And a pro tip, this is something I'm so glad I did. After you launch, so a week after you launch, 2 weeks after you launch, go back and save all of those emails so that if you do launch again in the future, you have your content, right? If it's good emails, if it's good content, your open rate should be pretty high. Your click rate should be pretty high and pretty good and strong and consistent. And you can reuse that content. So let's say you're going to launch your program, you launched it in August. Let's say you're going to launch it again in May of the next year. Reuse that content, because odds are you're going to get new people on your list. The old people, either they're going to buy from you or they're not, and they don't really care if you're reusing content, or quite honestly, they're not going to remember. They're not watching you as closely as you think they are. But what I did is I put all emails in a Google Doc, and then I put all of the stats. I put the open rates, the click-through rates. I even put the unsubscribes, even though I don't think you should really pay attention to that. I put it in there to see if there was like a trend with the unsubscribes. So that way you know what emails perform best and you can reuse your content. So I highly recommend you do that. Social media. All right, so social media, I have a hard time with. I struggle with consistency in social media. I try to post on my Instagram and my Facebook at least once a day. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and that's fine. But I like to be consistent. Like, I am a very consistent person. I have a very clear schedule, routines, and that's just how I thrive. And Camden, my son, is exactly the same way. So pitching a $2,500 program does not work. If you're going to do a single Facebook post or a single Instagram post about your $2,500 program and you're expecting people to buy from it, it's probably not going to happen, right? Especially if they don't know you. They're not going to drop $2,500 on you. So what I would consider doing is pitch your freebies and or your live webinars to get those new people on your list, to turn them from a cold market into a warm market, into a hot lead, into clients. So they're not going to go from completely cold to super, super converting client. That is not going to happen super quickly. But what you can do is nourish that relationship through getting them on your email list, inviting them to your webinars or your trainings, giving them your freebie and then sending them through a funnel. So promote your freebies, your free stuff, through Instagram and Facebook. That is my recommendation. All right. The second week, I did a webinar. And then the fourth week, I did a challenge. So focusing on those events allowed me to do them really, really well instead of pitching the program all the time. Sometimes when I pitch a lot, it makes me feel spammy and a little bit slimy. I don't especially love feeling like that. So what it really did, having, the 2-week difference between those two events, it really allowed me for 2 weeks to properly promote each event, and I got my marketing clear and concise. So I was able to tweak my Facebook ads. I was able to, send my emails to my business coach ahead of time, and she could give me some feedback. It really allowed me to make sure that those events were quality, and so that people who signed up from them were getting really good content delivered to their inbox. I did run Instagram and Facebook ads for both the events, like I said, and I also ran ads to my warm market for expiring bonuses and closing cart. So my warm audiences was my mailing list and my website visitors. So in Facebook ads, in Instagram ads, you can target your warm audience through mailing lists. You can do website visitors. You can do page likes. You can do people who've used your app if you have an app. It's a really great way to use Facebook ads in a really targeted way. So you can market to your warm audience very differently than you can market to your cold audience. Your cold audience is not, like I said, not going to buy a $2,500 program through a Facebook or Instagram ad. But your cold audience would be more likely to sign up for free training, like many of you guys have done today, through a Facebook ad, right? But your warm market, you can market to them a little bit more aggressively, which is kind of cool. And so those got really good clicks, and that's how I think at least one woman came through the program, if not two. It was a great kind of strategy. Live chat. All right, so this was something I was really kind of nervous about using, quite honestly, but what this was completely indispensable. I booked 2 clients from live chat. So what live chat is a chat box that comes up on your sales page. So when someone comes to your sales page, after they've been there for a little bit, they get a prompt that says, hey, welcome to the sales page. What can I help you with? You can make it say whatever you want it to say. And then they can type in the box what they need help with, right? Or their questions, and you can answer them live. The key to this is that you set office hours, which I did not realize you had to do. Live me learn, right? I had people messaging me at night when I was asleep, and then I couldn't respond to them because the thing about live chat is you don't know who is emailing you. So I would have this open chat box. They would send me a question, and then they would hear nothing back from me. And that doesn't look good for anybody. You can install it on your desktop. You can install it on your phone. You just need to set office hours with it. But it's how I booked my $10,000 one-on-one client, and it's how I booked 2 of the women in the program. It's because they chatted me through the live chat, and then from there, set up calls with them, and then they became clients. So live chat was a really great tool I used. I highly suggest it. And it's cheap, I think. It's you actually get a free 30-day trial at first, so I didn't even have to pay for it for the launch of Rise. All right, so this is the juicy stuff, I think. So this is how I plan on using more automation for future launches. And if you guys have questions, like I said, go ahead and put them in the chat box. Let me make sure I have everything up here. Perfect. All right. So Zapier is an app that can hook multiple platforms together, okay? So I'm actually going to show you the back end of Zapier, what I have going on, and show you how I have this going. But let me explain about it a little bit. Okay, so the work that my online business manager was doing and that I was paying her for was something that Zapier can do. And now I realize this after the launch, right? So I was paying her to do things that I could set up in an automation in an hour. And so that's what I should have done. And so that's what I'm going to do in the future. So whatever happened was whenever someone enrolled in the program, my OBM would send them an email with the Facebook group, an email with all the call times and dates, an email with, the bonuses that they got if they enrolled when there were bonuses, an email with a contract, all this crazy onboarding stuff, the onboarding questionnaire, all of this. It was a very labor intensive time. And granted, she would just put it all in the email, copy and paste it and tweak it according to the client. And then they would get that email. But now I have realized, so let me change my share so you guys can see it. But now, so let me go over here. Let's go back to the dashboard. Okay, so this is my Zapier dashboard. I don't have a ton of, they call them Zaps set up, but I want to show you what like a Zap actually looks like. All right, so let's look at this one. So I am currently launching a program called the Freedom Mastermind. So this is Freedom Mastermind, full payment. So this is when someone goes through the button that allows them to pay in full, one-time fee, the onboarding sequence, okay? So they do it through PayPal. They have a successful sale, right? But the thing I learned is that you have to set up a filter because this successful sale is a broad successful sale. So anytime anyone pays anything through PayPal, PayPal considers it to be a successful sale. So you have to tell PayPal, or you have to tell Zapier, which PayPal purchase gets this one thing. And I did not realize that. So you go here, items, name, text exactly matches, and this is called the Freedom Mastermind. So I've created a button in PayPal that says the Freedom Mastermind, okay? And so you have to set up that filter. I did not know that. The action then is that they get subscribed to a tag in Facebook. I can show you. So they're gonna get tagged Freedom Mastermind Ladies. The email is gonna be the email that they paid to enroll in the program. And then the first name is gonna be the first name they put in the box via PayPal to pay for the program. The second thing they are going to get, and this is the golden part, is that they are going to get added to a sequence in ConvertKit. So that's right here. So the sequence is called the Freedom Mastermind. And so I want to show you that. Freedom Mastermind right here. This is the email they got as soon as they enroll in the program. So there's no lag time between when they enroll and when they get their information. So they're not waiting on us or anyone, my OBM, whoever, to send them the information, right? So this is the email they get. It says, hey, I'm super pumped you're on here. You're in the program. Here's your onboarding information. Questionnaire, details of the program. Here's when the calls are. Here's when the pre-coaching call, the pre-program starting calls are. Here are when the trainings. It gives all the information up front. And it's so easy. So you can see I have a couple of Zaps set up. So this is Freedom Mastermind. This is the payment plan onboarding. So it's the same exact sequence as the full payment. It's just driving them towards the other button that allows you to do the payment plan. Okay. I have one for my Facebook Live Intensive Self-Study Program. That's a completely passive course that I sell through a funnel, another very passive way of selling. So that hooks Stripe to Zapier, or no, I'm sorry, I would say the wrong thing. Stripe to Kajabi, and then to ConvertKit, so they get a sequence with all the information in it. It's a really great way to automate things so that what you can do is you can have, you know, the people that work with you, they can spend their time doing other things. So they don't have to, you know, do all this like piddly work. And so this month, the only thing that the OBM I work with is doing is actually sending out contracts. Because I can't quite figure that one out yet. I'm sure there's a way, I just haven't sat down and tried it quite yet. But she's gonna be sending out contracts, and that takes like literally 5 minutes because I do all my contracts through Dubsado. So all you have to do is tag someone, create a new job, link a contract with them, and then it gets sent to them automatically. It's really easy to do. So that's giving me the space and allowing me the space to use her for things that are more within her zone of genius. She does not need to be doing like the piddly, you know, like busy work in my business. She can do other things that are much more rewarding for her and get a lot more done for me. So setting up these automations allows the space and the freedom to be doing other things in our businesses. All right, so let me change the share back to the slides. All right, so that's Zapier. Yeah, there we go. Instead of having her do this work, I can now ask her to do other work. All right, so reusing content. So I've kind of gone over this. I jumped a little ahead. But when I relaunch Rise, which I'm going to relaunch on Cyber Monday, so the Monday after Thanksgiving in November, I'm going to reuse all the emails. So I'm going to change up some of the content to be more appropriate for where my business is at that time, because my business will be in a different place and so will yours, right? So I'm going to relaunch. When I relaunch, I'm going to reuse the emails that I wrote. I'm also going to host 2 webinars, and then I'm going to be running them as replays on Evergreen. So what Evergreen means is they're going to be promoted through a funnel. I'm going to host the webinars pretty early on in the launch, so if I know they're successful or not. And so if they're not successful, I'm obviously not going to do this. But if they are successful, if I get a lot of engagement, a lot of signups, I'm going to run them as replays on Evergreen. So what you're going to be able to do is go to a landing page. You're going to be able to pick a date and a time where it can start, and then you'll get the replay delivered to you in a really nice, awesome webinar format as a webinar, right? As a replay. So you'll be able to pick a time that works maybe a little bit better for you. I know like there's no perfect time for anybody to run anything live. So theoretically, the attendance will be better. The live attendance will be better. And you'll be able to pick a time that really works better for you. And so your attendance will be better. Also, something else I plan on doing is creating a new challenge and then running it live the first week of the launch. And then, again, if it goes well, if it's a successful challenge, I'm going to take the content and put it into a funnel and run it through an email, so it's not time dependent, or week dependent, or however you want to look at it, start date dependent. So again, just like the Evergreen funnel, it's going to be an Evergreen challenge that really delivers a lot of great information on your terms. So those guys are going to be done through Facebook ads. So what this is going to allow me to do is really focus on the live promotion of the program, and then everything else will be done kind of on automatic, which is cool. And it'll help me to list build in a more effective way. So I can say to my ads agency that I use, here are 2 funnels. I would love you to promote both. Here's what they are, and tell them about it. And it'll allow me to really take a step back from that portion of my business during that time. There we go. And that's what I just said. All right. Topic number 4. How can you start using automation? All right. So a scheduler, and this is a very simple tip. So we're going to get a little bit more complicated as we go along. The scheduler. So if you guys don't have, what ads agency do I use? I use Rachel McMichael. She is awesome. It's just rachelmcmichael.com. I love her, and I don't think I will ever not use her ever again. She's fantastic. I could not talk more highly of her and her agency. So if you have other questions about her, feel free to send me an email, Carrie. I would love to chat with you about her. I love her. She's great. So Acuity, I use Acuity to book all of my appointments. So what Acuity is, it's a scheduling tool. And here, I'll show you Acuity. Let's pull it up. Here we go. All right, so Acuity. Oh, and I already pulled it up for you guys. Okay, so Acuity has different types of appointment. They call them appointments. I call them calls. Different types of calls, and you can attach forms, different forms to different calls. So like for my one-on-one program, I have a form called Clarity Call, because that's what I call my sales calls. And then I give a description of what to expect on the call, and I ask a series of really pointed questions. And what these do is they help to qualify the individual on the other end. So what this is designed to do is kind of weed people out, quite honestly. And I know that can be kind of harsh sounding, but it's true. You can get weeded out through these questions, because I don't want to get on the phone with you if you're not serious about enrolling in a program with me. So a question I ask is, if you could wave a magic wand in your business, what would be the first thing you could fix? Why is this important for you? How do you think hitting these goals faster would help you? Why do you want to hire a coach? And something else I ask, which is really super effective and so simple, is on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to getting the results that you want now? So if someone puts like a 4 in this box, they're not my kind of lady. You are not motivated. And I only want to work with women who want it bad and who want to do like maybe a little bit of a crazy things to get there. You know, willing to take risks, and they're willing to take chances, and they're willing to get out of their comfort zone. If someone puts a 4 there, I'm not going to do the call with you. And I'm just going to flat out tell you, like, I don't think you're motivated enough. And I don't think that you and I working together, I don't think you're going to get results, because I want you to put a 12 in that box. I don't want you to put a 4. I want you to be motivated. So my scheduler is super, super important. You can see I have lots of different kinds of appointments. I have clarity calls, coaching calls, colleague calls, podcast interviews. You know, I have lots of different things. So if someone needs to book a Rise Clarity call, I can copy and paste this link that's in here and then send it to them. And it's super easy. And then they just go in, find a time that works for them, and then they answer some really pointed questions. And it just makes it easier. And there's no like going back and forth, like, oh, when are you available? Oh, I'm not available then. Well, when are you? But you know, there's none of that. So I highly recommend, if you don't have a scheduler, you find a scheduler. All right, let's go back to this. There we go. All right. Number 2, Zapier. And I know I talked about this already, but I am of the firm belief that you should always have passive income running in the background of your business. I do this through Facebook ads. So my ads agency I mentioned earlier, what they do for me is they run my funnels for me. They know a whole heck of a lot more about Facebook ads than I do. Granted, I know a lot. I've had some really good successes with my Facebook ads, but if I can I am of the belief that if you can offboard something that takes up a bunch of your time, you should. And Facebook ads are that for me. They take up a ton of my time because, you know, you're constantly tweaking them. You're trying to make them better so you get a better conversion rate, and they can really like be a big time suck. So I think you should always be having a passive income stream running in the background, and it should be completely passive. So Zapier helps with that. There's no like back end, like sending things to people. And they get it immediately. So they don't have to wait on you to send them something, right? So you can create, I said you can create an amazing product and then sell it through a funnel with a Facebook ad, or even just through promotion to your list and or your Facebook group. But I think that whole process should be very, very streamlined for you. Yeah, and they can immediately get the product delivered right to their inbox by using a Zap. Facebook ads. So I love Facebook ads, and I will straight up tell you that. I think that Facebook ads are the single best way to list build. They can convert a cold audience to a warm audience to a red hot audience really, really quickly. Most of you guys on this training came to me via a Facebook ad. I had over 200 people sign up for this training, and I think only 40 of you are actually on my email list. So that's really good for me. That's like an awesome conversion rate. So you can outsource your Facebook ads. And guys, even if they don't become clients of yours right now, or they don't buy, you know, your passive product right now, they're going to stay on your list if they're interested in what you had to say. So maybe they don't become a client right now, but maybe in 3 months they become a client, or in 2 months. Usually people, if they buy from you, they buy within the first 30 to 60 days of getting on your list. So even if they're not going to buy this immediate promotion from you right now, down the road they will buy. If they choose to stay on your list. And also, hiring a Facebook ads agency puts someone else in charge of list building. So they're responsible for getting you really good results, really good conversion rates. It's your job to create a really awesome funnel that converts, but it's their job to get the people there. And if that's not working for you in Facebook ads, I hear a lot of people say they struggle with Facebook ads. If that's simply not working for you anymore, you need to consider outsourcing it, because you constantly need to be getting new people in your funnels. You constantly need to be getting, you know, fresh eyes on your content, and you need to be list building all the time. It's one of the most vital things that you need to be doing in your business. And I neglected it for about a year in my business, and I strongly regret that. I know my business would be probably further along if I had actually taken the time to list build. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Cool. All right, guys. So that's all the training I have for you guys today. The content portion is over, but if you guys want to stick around, I have a really awesome special offer for you all and an awesome deal that I would like to share with you guys. So Here's the special offer. So this is for you if you want to make your income consistent so you don't have to worry month to month where the money is going to come from. And I know this is a pain point for a lot of people. They may have really awesome months followed by really, really terrible months. And so their income becomes really inconsistent, and it can be hard to invest in your business during that time. It can be hard to, like pay for things during that time because you don't know where the next dollar is going to come from. So if you want to make consistent income, this offer is for you. If you want to be able to take the day off, or even like have a sick kid day and know without a doubt that your business is still working even if you aren't. This is for if you were completely thrown off by summer vacation and your kids being home. If they threw a wrench in your business's productivity and you still want to hit those awesome annual goals that you set for yourself and your business back in January, but you have absolutely no idea how you're going to accomplish that, this special offer is totally for you. I've been there. If passive income sounds like a dream, and that's just what you think it is a dream, and have no idea how you're even going to make it happen for you, this special offer is for you. So if I'm describing you and your business, then I want to introduce you to the Freedom Mastermind. And this is a program I'm super excited to launch. I've started the launch for it today. This is a 3-month-long mastermind style program that starts on October 2nd and it ends on December 29th. And it's designed to help you accomplish that annual income goal that you set for yourself way back in January when you're filled with all kinds of hopes and dreams and ambition. And now you're thinking, that's never going to happen for me. I want you to make that a reality. So I want to go back to those hopes and dreams and figure out how we can get you there. That's kind of the premise of this mastermind, is getting you back on track, making you or helping you and supporting you in hitting those financial goals and ending 2017 with a bang. Because I think the momentum that you gain at the end of the year determines your success. So I want you to, so Delana, I think I just saw Delana has a hand raised. Can you just type in the questions or in the chat box your question? Because I am not seeing a way to answer your questions if you raise your hand. Sorry. What you can do is at the bottom of the screen, you see there's like a little chat box. There's also a question box. So go ahead and put those questions in there and then I can answer it live. Sorry about that. I'm not seeing where to do the hand raise thing, man. So I want you to go back, revisit your big dreams you had in January. I want to figure out a way to make them a reality for you. So that's what the Freedom Mastermind, the basis is. You don't have to accept that you aren't going to accomplish your goal. I hear a lot of women say, in January, I was being unrealistic. You're making excuses for your not accomplishing your goals. But amazing things can happen in 3 months. We still have 3 months left of the year. It's the last quarter. And I want you to take the momentum that you gain in the Freedom Mastermind and bring it into 2018. Because I think that transition is really, really important. How you end 2017 sets the tone for 2018. And I want you to end 2017 feeling confident, feeling super pumped about your business, and feeling like you can take on anything in 2018. All right, so details of the Freedom Mastermind. You get 2 90-minute group coaching calls per month. And these are designed to get you some laser coaching on your business. So I can answer questions. I can strategize with you. The other women in the program can offer you support. So these are 2 super focused laser coaching sessions with the group per month. You also get 2 trainings via Facebook Live from me per month. And the fun thing about this is that the topic is chosen by you. So you guys determine the topic on what you want to learn that week. And so you get 2 of those every single month. You also get an exclusive Facebook group where you can get daily accountability and coaching. So I'll be in there daily. Your other mastermind sisters will be in there daily, and we can talk things through with ideas, different strategies, and really support one another that way. You also get a tribe of mom bosses who have your back and will support you every step of the way. I can honestly say from my own being a client of a coach in a group coaching program is it's by far the best way to meet other people who get it. So if you are looking for, accountability partners, biz besties, whatever the heck you want to call them, group programs and masterminds are a great way to do that. I can say I was in a group program almost 2 years ago, and I still talk to those women every single day. They're still my friends, and we've all grown in so many crazy ways over the past 2 years. So it's been a great way to really find like my tribe of women who get it, because sometimes that can be really hard to find. You also get a self-study course by Rachel McMichael, who I mentioned earlier, who is the ads specialist I use. Her self-study course is called Get Found Facebook Ads Academy, and it's phenomenal. I have access to it as one of her clients, and it's such a good course. It's a $247 value, and you'll get that automatically with your enrollment in the program. And Rachel's amazing. The women that she has in the agency are phenomenal. They have grown my list just this month by like 500, which has been awesome for me. And my ad spend is around $1.30 per conversion. So I'm doing it relatively inexpensively. And I strongly believe in Rachel. I've known her for about 3 years, and she's awesome. So I'm super excited to be able to offer that to you guys as a part of this program. And as a fun bonus, when you enroll by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, you will get 3 months of Voxer coaching for absolutely free. And this is a $3,000 value. And you might be thinking, Allison, I've just met you. Like, I have no idea what Voxer coaching is. Voxer is this really cool walkie-talkie app that you can use to talk real time back and forth. So I give Voxer coaching access to all my one-on-one clients. So it's something I don't offer everybody. But what it does, it allows us to talk back and forth real time. So you can send me like voice notes, you can take pictures of things, you can send me text via Voxer, and then I respond within 24 hours of getting that communication. It's an awesome way for me to support you as you reach your goals. And the price that I have is usually $1,000 a month. So it's a $3,000 value that you can get for absolutely free when you enroll by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. You just have to enroll by 8 p.m. tonight. So super fun bonus, only open on the first day of the launch. So I want to talk about some of my amazing clients and some of the awesome things they have accomplished. This is Gemma James. She's a success mindset coach and a law of attraction practitioner for fempreneurs, as she says. She did some pretty phenomenal things. Gemma left her soul-sucking law job within 3 weeks of us starting to work together. She tripled her income. She booked her first one-on-one clients, and she executed a paid masterclass and had 5 women paid to attend, all within the first 3 weeks of working together. Girlfriend went for it. She totally dominated her program. It was awesome. Since then, during our time together, she went on to book 3 one-on-one clients. She developed a self-study course that she had been thinking about doing for 18 months. For a year and a half, she'd been thinking about this program. She did it, executed it, made a funnel for it in 8 weeks. Phenomenal. She strategized and executed her first opt-in, a tripwire, a sales funnel, and an accompanying Facebook ad. And she finally has a clear path for her business and feels confident in knowing how to move forward. So Gemma is by far one of my most favorite people I've ever worked with. She's awesome. So that's Gemma James. My next client is Erin Newman, and Erin is also awesome too. All my clients are awesome. I only work with awesome ladies. Erin is a spiritual business coach for women. She also is an authentic marketing mentor, and she is probably one of the most heart-centered people I've ever met. During our time together, she booked her very first premium client. So she had a client come to her, paid her high-end fee right off the bat, and she did that while we were working together. She created her very own Facebook group and marketed it towards her ideal client. She set up her first sales funnel. She grew her email list by 25%, all mostly organically. She did a couple of Facebook ads, but mostly organically, and it was just through some authentic marketing, right? And getting visible online. She created a Facebook ads that turned her cold audience into red hot. She developed a new passive product and wrote a sales funnel for it that actually converts. So it actually goes from cold audience to warm audience to client. And then she developed confidence in increasing her one-on-one prices for her one-on-one program. And that can be really hard to do. You know, all of us say we want 5-figure months. We want 100K month or 100K years. But it's getting the confidence in order to do that. So she finally gained the confidence in raising her one-on-one prices and felt really good about doing it. She also created a group program, which I believe she is launching in November, which is awesome. And she gained clarity in who she actually serves. When Erin came to me, she thought she was speaking to this very specific ideal client, when in reality, she was speaking to this very specifically other client. So we really worked on her marketing and getting her messaging really clear as to who she serves. So that clarity was invaluable for her. And then right after she did that, she booked her first one-on-one client. So that's Erin Newman. She's a phenomenal resource, and I'm so grateful that we were able to work together. So what will it take for you to invest in your dreams? If you want to end the year with a bang, if you want to create that income that you dreamed of in January, and you knew you wanted in January, but you're feeling a little defeated, this mastermind is for you. If your business is meant for more, and if you are meant for more, then I want you in the Freedom Mastermind. So you can enroll through the program through the link below. So take a screenshot of this, or just wait for the email that I'm going to send out. Or you can also book a call with me through that link to chat about the program and make sure it's right for you. I know many of you have never met me before, so I realize booking a $3,000 program outright is a little bit of a stretch. But hey, you never know. You might be like, this is an amazing fit for me, so let's go for it. But you can also book a call with me through that link. So it's just AllisonHardy.com/freedom mastermind. And I would love to have you. And remember, if you enroll by 8 p.m. tonight Eastern Standard Time, you will automatically get 3 months free of Voxer coaching, and that's a $3,000 value. So it's a super, super awesome bonus that I'm only offering today, quite honestly. So enroll and or learn more by visiting the sales page. And the cart for this program is going to stay open until the 29th, or when 10 women enroll. I'm not accepting more than 10 women in the program. So if that happens today, if it happens tomorrow, the program's going to close down. And then we're going to start our mastermind pretty quickly. So if this is something you know that you need, if there's something inside of you saying, I need this, like I want to end my year with a bang, and I think Allison can help me get there, I need that support, then I want you to consider enrolling today, because I think those spots are going to go really quickly. So either book a call with me or just purchase through the sales page. And I would love to welcome you into the Freedom Mastermind. Thank you so much for attending today's training. And I hope you guys loved the content. I hope you got a lot out of it, and can't wait to see you in the Freedom Mastermind. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in live. And I will be sending the replay with all this information out later today once I get my little guy home from preschool. So you can expect this in your inbox this afternoon.